So we are kayaking out today. Conditions actually look pretty nice, pretty clear. And we are with Nicholas again. He's the one who got rescued by the lifeguards. So hopefully today his goal is to shoot a fish that is bigger than 1.99 pounds. And my goal is that we don't have any more lifeguard rescues. We're about to hop in. Editing makes a huge difference. This green water is unedited, and then this bluer clear water is the edited version. This was my first drop of the day. I'm using my 110 custom cow stick by Sam over on Big Island. I threw out a couple grunts. I thought I saw some moo, but it was also kind of hard to tell, and they're so hard to spot. Just went down, checked it out, and then came back up. And this was my second drop of the day, and you can see a moo hanging out over the sand. I was maybe in the water for, I don't know, like 5 minutes at this point. And I do color grade my footage based on what it looks like at the bottom, not at the surface. So here's a look at that. But I saw these moo and then got distracted by an uhu that came in instead, and she just gave me a shot. I was waiting for her to not be in front of rocks. I have lost a lot of fish to rocks where they get pinned into the rock, but it doesn't have enough distance to engage the flopper. It wasn't a great shot. It was definitely a gut shot, so I dropped my gun, actually rushed the fish to grab it and secure it, prevent any kind of tearing off. I hate losing fish that way, especially uhu. The bellies are so thin that it's really easy for them to tear themselves off, especially with the bigger ones. But yeah, first fish on the second drop in like 5, maybe 10 minutes of time in the water. As soon as I get a good fish, I'm happy and I relax a lot more in the water. I'm not anxious or, kind of hell-bent on hunting. But yeah, she ended up being, I think, about 4.5, 5 pounds. Once I had that fish on my belt, I was pretty happy, but I ended up seeing some moo off in the, well, not even in the distance, pretty freaking close to me. So I dropped down, and this area is kind of tricky because it's so shallow that it can actually be harder to approach them, where if you go over a rock, you're immediately visible. And these two moo were kind of skittish. I took a lunge at them, but they weren't moving fast enough, and was able to get this amazing shot on it. I actually shot the fish through both of its eyes. I am not that good. This was dumb luck. But you can see there, it's right through both eyes. I think this one was like 3.4 pounds. Not crazy size, but I'm not mad about this fish at all. I was pretty stoked. And for my third drop of the day, having two good fish on the belt, I could have been done right now. I was out with my buddy Nicholas, so I was going to help him out with getting some fish, but after I got this one, pretty much everything else was bonus. I was just super excited. I was working with Nicholas on his presence in the water and energy, if you will. Even the angle that he drops at and the way his fins are lifted spook fish. So we were working on learning how to drop down, laying fins flat, and then actually finding cover, which I don't always do. I'm terrible about that. I get a lot of fish shooting fish the wrong way, but with him, I'm really mindful about how I teach him. I think I am able to get some shots off other people don't, because I've spent so many thousands of hours studying fish behavior in aquariums. I actually dropped down here to try and get a roy, but it was on to me and it just kind of swam past right there and hit under the rocks. And here I was working on Nicholas again. He came down for another drop. Even the way he duck dives, you can see that his head is arched up, and shallow doesn't make a huge difference, but when you are deeper, it can actually cause problems for your neck. So protect your neck, protect your throat, and you want to keep your chin not tucked, but head in a straight up and down alignment. I was just kind of playing around at this point. This was maybe an hour maybe hour and a half into our dive. Because I already had fish, I was actually just messing with this little omilu. He was actually responding to squid fingers. I was using my left hand for that and kept coming in and, you know, pointing the gun at him, but was small enough and I wasn't in the mood to shoot anything that little today. I already had good fish and my grandma is all set on fish, so wasn't looking for anything pan-sized for her yet, but just kind of messing with it, playing with it, enjoying how everything was moving around me. And then I moved over this sandy area and there were moo directly below me. I'm pretty consistent with being able to dive bomb them, but I got kind of the wrong angle right there. Surprised that one. And then I turned and saw another, and this is where the heartbreak of the day started. I was able to line up, get a shot on it, and I couldn't really tell what happened. I hit the fish, I know I hit it, you can see the line pull. I even tried to slow down the footage and get a better look at it. I think I might have just hit it in the tail and it was able to rip off from the tail, but the video quality was just not good enough for me to really see what happened. So my guess is I just hit it high, and then this white tip came by to presumably grab my fish. So you can see it is right there by that rock. There was a blood in the water, there were scales. It came down to check it out. That's where that moo that I just hit was hiding. You can see I'm already trying to reload my gun. This was also Nicholas's first shark in the water, so I called him over. He was a little bit farther off. I didn't want it to surprise him, but I also wanted to, you know, teach him about sharks and shark interactions, and I went down to check it out and see if it had my fish in its mouth. And I couldn't see it, but I'm betting he got it. At this point, Nicholas still hadn't shot anything yet, so I wanted to try and get him a fish, and I told him, go for something like the Maiko or Nai. I think that they taste good. I know some people snob them, but here he was actually lined up. He came up a little bit high, but was able to get the fish, so at least he got something. Unfortunately, it was not over that 1.99 biggest fish he's shot so far threshold. I dropped down. I do like nanue. I think that some of them actually have a kind of spicy flavor to the meat. Only some. I think it's based on the limu that they eat, but this one I didn't even really drop for. I just kind of shot it from the surface. This is where bands really seem to matter. I sometimes tie my own bands. I was lazy and using these hammerhead pre-mades. They don't shoot as strong even when they're brand new as some of the other like black amber, like the Rife style rubbers do, and it does make a difference. Here, I saw these moo in the distance. There's an uhu, an omilu, but I was really after those moo. They weren't really spooked at all, but they weren't coming in closer either, so I decided to come over this coral head and then take a shot on them. This is where, you know, my second heartbreak of the day was. Got over. Again, they're not responding, they're not really running. Slow turn. Hit the fish, but I think I needed an extra little bit of power. I don't think the shaft went fully through. I'd actually given up for the day and saw this uhu by my anchor line and decided, you know, screw it, let's try, and shot her, again, basically from the surface. I wasn't sure how the shot was, so I let go of the shaft, or of the gun. When I got down, it was nice. It was right through the gill plate, good holding shot, and you can see how much blood there is in the water. I haven't noticed this happening before, but after I blood the fish, it went almost totally white. So I'm not sure if the uhu coloring is actually based on how much blood is in the body for that red color for the females, or if it's just, you know, coincidence, something with a chromatophore, something with a pigment, something else. Other uhu that I have shot, though, normally the females will keep some of that reddish color, but I sort of watched it happen, where as she bled out from that gill shot, it went this really ghostly pale color, so I don't know if that's actually something to do with it, but just something interesting to note. finished up, got that second uhu, and now I'm gassed. I am very happy with the fish we got today. That moo was a great shot. And yeah, I'm gonna drop off a fish to Danny. Went diving with him yesterday. Wasn't the best dive day, but yeah, he asked for a fish, so we'll pick something out, give him one of what we caught. Man, I am tired. I'll see you guys at Danny's. There you go. We brought Danny fish. Let's see it, Danny.
You're the man. Who brings you moo? Who else brings you moo but this guy? Love you, Biddles.